Good evening and welcome. Tonight we will be going over the history and geography of, let me zoom out a bit so you can see. We've got Centre-Est, Centre-Nord, Centre-Ouest, and Centre-Sud in Burkina Faso. So, if you are a regular viewer of my channel, you know that last week we went to Centre, Burkina Faso, and looked at the capital city of Ouagadougou, which never wants to pop up. Make sure that everything needs to be on for this, definitely. Ouagadougou never wants to pop up. There it is, Ouagadougou. So that's the Centre region over here. So we are going to be looking at all of the areas around it today. So if you've seen that video, which you should check out because there's a lot of cool stuff in Ouagadougou, a lot of this geography is going to be a little bit similar because it's all in the same part of the country. But let's start by zooming out so you can see exactly where we are in the world. Here's beautiful Burkina Faso. It's located in West Africa, kind of in that middle area between like North Africa and West Africa here. And that middle region is known as the Sahel, the place where the Sahara Desert and the central equatorial forests meet together to create an environment that's not quite desert, not quite forest, something in between. It's the Sahel. That is where we are tonight. Here's Burkina Faso. We are going to be just north of Ghana and Togo. You can see that we're going to be bordering it tonight. And I think we should just get right into it, starting with Centre-Est, which of course means Central-East region. Now, as you can see, we're in the Sahel. It's not quite desert, not quite forest. It's something in between, right? So that is the landscape that we have here today. You can see the many rivers coming through, and they are dammed up here. Now, the names on Google Earth here, I believe, are their Burkinabe names. Not the ones that I know them in English, but I believe this is the... I can't remember which one it is. There's the black Volta, the white Volta, and the red Volta. I think this is the black Volta. Oh, I've completely... I wonder if it says it in Ghana. Let's see. That's obviously the border here. Does it say? I can't remember which river is which. That is the Oti River in this part of the world. All right, either way, they are the various Volta rivers in English, which is why Burkina Faso was known as Upper Volta during its colonial times when it was colonized by France. But other than that, this area and the other areas are just Sahel. There's a little bit of forest, just a little bit of greenery. There's a little bit of farming. It's mostly herding from what I can tell. Maybe like 50-50 farming and herding. I'm not quite sure, but that's pretty much all the geography I've got for you. The capital of this region is Tenkodogo. Tenkodogo is actually a very important place for the Mosi people. The Mosi being the most prominent group in Burkina Faso, and definitely this corner of Burkina Faso. It won't be true for the last area we're going to, but oh, I forgot to pull up UNESCO. I'll fix it later. We're going to look at a UNESCO site soon. Tenkodogo is believed to be the origin of the Mosi kingdoms. There is a palace around here for the current... It's hard with the lights off. I can't see my notes. Trying to remember the name of what a king is. It's the I've forgotten. I'm so bad at this. I'm so bad at this. Let me see if I can't read my notes in the dark. Just a literal shot in the dark. Oh my gosh, I cannot see. Anyway, I feel so bad. I had this all memorized and I've completely forgotten. It'll come to me, I'm sure. But pretty much every center that I'll show you, any town, has a royal family associated with it. It seems that this is where the royal lineage started and splintered off throughout the area here to create all of the various different kingdoms, which is how the kingdom of Ouagadougou began, over in what's now Ouagadougou, which is the prominent Mosi kingdom today. There's not much else to show you here, otherwise I take you around and show you some things, but as you can see, most of these don't have pictures, and if they do, they're just selfies. So it's not like I can show you the landscape or anything, but that's Centre-Est, the East Central area. Let's move on to, there's some spoilers in here, Centre-Nord. Heading just north up here, just north of Ouagadougou. The capital in this region is Kaya. Moronaba, that's it, a Naba. See, I told you it would come to me. The kings are called Naba, and then the High King is the Moronaba. I knew if I just thought hard enough, it would come to me. Oh gosh, is there anything to show you in Kaya? There's really not much to show you, any of these. They are very, let's see the barrage. Let's see this. See, it's all, look at that cute baby. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. It's all selfies of people. It's all just very wonderful faces to look at. But it's those are great, but I'm trying to show you the area, So unfortunately, that's it. This area seems to be much more deserty than the others, definitely, since it's in the north, so it's closest to the Sahara. Let me get the borders back up, just in case I don't want to miss anything. But I think that was it for the north, to be honest. I think this is the one that I found the least about. If I can remember, I cannot read my notes at all. It is dark in here. But I did find some cool things to show you in Centre-Ouest. Let me pull that up. Just have to remember where it is. I found, oops. See, this is the slideshows, right? Centre-Ouest. You can see some forests up here. Sadly, they don't have any pictures. The capital, I'll know when I see it. Where is it? I thought it was down here. No, it's up here. I'm thinking of the next one is Kudugu. Kudugu, which, like I said, this has its own Naba. And like all the towns I'll show you, they'll have their own Naba. I found some slideshows that had this is the palace of this Naba, and then it was just selfies, or there would be no pictures, unfortunately. There's Kudugu. I found, let me look at mine. Wait, was it Sabu? Yeah, that was it. This is a sacred lake because it is full of caiman, sacred caiman. And if I tap on the town slideshow, we can see some of them. Ta-da! Caimans, which are crocodilians. Same thing as alligators and crocodiles. Caimans are just a little smaller. It's believed that the caimans are actually old ancestors. So they are sacred caimans. That's very sweet. I was happy when I found that. I'm like, oh, finally something cool to talk about other than here it is. That's pretty neat. Yeah, sadly, not much else to talk about. So let's move on to Centre-Sud. the main event because I have something very special to show you here. Centre. See if you can see that. I'm trying to cover it, but there's spoilers in there for you. Centre-Sud, which borders Ghana over here. This area is the exception to all of the others. The other three have a lot of things in common culturally and geographically. This one's a little different because of it's not dominantly mossy. Let me actually pull up its UNESCO site to show you, because as you can see, it's mostly just the same landscape. We can see that the river areas are very, very fertile. Lots of planting and farming happening there in these very wet areas here, right? But we have a UNESCO site here, the Royal Court of Tiébélé. It says the property is an earthen architectural complex established since the 16th century that bears testimony to the social organization and cultural values of the Kassena people. Enclosed by a protective compound wall, the royal court consists of a set of buildings arranged in distinct concessions separated by walls and passageways leading to ceremonial and gathering places outside the compound. Built by the men of the royal court, the huts are then adorned with decorations of symbolic significance by the women, who are the sole guardians of this knowledge and ensure this tradition is kept alive. There's some pictures here, but the ones on Google Earth are far better. Much, much cooler to show you. So let me just hop back over there to show you beautiful Tiébélé. Or at least the royal court of Tiébélé. The town is up here. It doesn't really have any pictures. But if we head down here, you can see here the royal compound. So, like it said, this is the royal court of the Kassena people, not the Mosi. The Kassena mostly live in northern Ghana, but it overflows into Burkina Faso up here, where their royal court is located. And look at these beautiful walls. Like it said, the women paint the walls. If I remember what I read, there they go. They're painting right now. It tends to wash off during rainy seasons, and then they just repaint it. Then not in the same way. It'll change up each time. Here's a good example of this landscape. Not quite desert, not quite forest. Something in between. And it's got textures as well. I'm sure they all tell stories and such. Lots of selfies. Look at the trees, the spindly trees as pillars. Isn't that beautiful? This place is so stunning. And this would be amazing. And if what I remember is true, and that all the wall patterns change up every time, it's like you could visit one season and come back the next year and it will be all different. How fun is that? That is beautiful Tiébélé. It was added to UNESCO in 2024. When that list came out, I was so excited to see Tiébélé, because to me it's like one of the top 3 most beautiful places in West Africa, to be honest. It's amazing. But other than that, the capital of Centre-Sud is actually Manga up here. And like the others, there's also not much to show you here. If you guys want, you can poke around these areas yourself and see if you can find anything, and let us know in the comments if you do find any cool slideshows. But I really didn't find much, which is so sad, because I'm sure there's some really cool stuff. See, look at that. Barrage, Colonel Ramba, Pascal. There's no pictures. See, Palais Royal right there, although it says it's a supermarket. Maybe it is. Maybe it's both. Por qué no los dos? However, I think one of the reasons that there's not a lot to see here is because These areas, particularly Centre-Est, Centre-Nord, are not terribly safe places to be currently. Most of these places, especially up in the north of Centre-Nord, let me pull it back up again, are taken over by people, like we say on this channel, to avoid demonetization. They blow things up on purpose, right? They are religious extremists, and they are not out for the betterment of the people. They are out for the betterment of themselves and to make themselves feel good about their extremist religion. And obviously it's a tragedy to the people who live here because they suffer for no reason other than vanity, I suppose. Very famously, Burkina Faso is cracking down on this. Traoré, the current leader, is like all about cracking down on people like that, which is really great and is making him a very popular person, not just in Burkina Faso, but in all of Africa. He's the world's youngest head of state. And yeah, Ibrahim Traoré is really considered a hero in Burkina Faso. I say it's complicated. I talked about it in my Ouagadougou video because that's where he lives and rules from, but nevertheless, that is just the facts today. And that is all that I have for you today. There is apparently a national park down here, but you wouldn't know it from Google Earth. There's a vaccination park. It says it's Kiu. Do we have pictures of Kiu? We have this bridge. This is what I'm talking about. There's just not much to show you, unfortunately. I wish there was more, but sadly there is not. So, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this style of content, please consider subscribing. We're going to have another video like this later in the week down in Equatorial Guinea, where there's not much to show you, but you know, still important. There's still some neat things to show you down there in Equatorial Guinea. But before we do that, we're going to hop over to France. We saw one beautiful palace complex. We're about to see a whole lot more. A whole lot more, because we're going to the Loire Valley, which is very famous for its many castles and palaces. So be sure to subscribe so you won't miss out. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, hype this video if you can, and let me know all your thoughts down below in the comments. I hope that you found this video to be relaxing and educational, and I hope that you have a good night. Good night.